Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're not just tracing a bloodline. We're really embarking on this extraordinary journey right into the heart of canine legacy. Specifically focusing on a lineage of American Pit Bull Terriers whose prowess and this almost mythical trait, gameness, became legendary.
Yeah, that term gameness is central here.
Absolutely. And as we unpack their story, I really want you, the listener, to think about what truly makes a champion, in any field. Is it just wins? A scorecard?
Or is it something much deeper, like heritage-specific traits that are meticulously cultivated?
Exactly. And the strategic choices, sometimes really tough choices, made over generations.
Definitely. And we've got some incredible sources for this deep dive. Really, an almost unparalleled look into one specific dog we'll be focusing on.
Assassinator.
That's her.
Yeah.
A remarkable female named Assassinator. Our sources give us these really intimate insights into her family tree, the key matches that defined her line.
And the breeding philosophies behind it all.
Exactly, the why behind the what.
Right. So our mission today is to explore Assassinator's life, her impact. Not just her own qualities, but the lineage she came from, and maybe even more crucially, the one she helped forge. And this deep dive, it's not just for the hardcore dog enthusiasts, though they'll love it. It's a fascinating look, really in-depth into the dedication, the foresight, the intricate understanding needed to cultivate specific traits over time.
Yeah, generations of work.
So get ready. You might discover some surprising nuggets here about genetics, temperament, strategic choices, stuff that honestly resonates way beyond just dog breeding.
Principles of excellence, really.
Okay, so we've set the stage for Assassinator, her impact. But to really get it, we have to go back to the roots.
You have to understand the foundation.
And the strongest root, the absolute foundation of her prowess, it lies in her father's side, her paternal heritage. Specifically, the formidable Assassin 1.
Assassin 1, a name that carried weight.
Born June 12, 1986. Now remember that date because, interestingly, it's also Assassinator's exact birth date.
A direct connection right there.
Yeah, and Assassin 1, he was a force of nature. His reputation preceded him. Our sources detail his record of 4X winner. He won 4 separate matches convincingly.
And not just one, dominated. That's the word they use, dominated.
So what's fascinating isn't just the number 4 wins, it's how he won.
Exactly. Because when you think of a dog like that, you might picture, an overly hard mouth, just biting down with incredible force, never letting go.
That classic image.
Right. But the sources are really clear. That wasn't Assassin 1's main weapon. His edge came from something else.
Which was?
Incredible speed.
Yeah.
And this almost uncanny ability to get to nearly every important hold first. Just lightning fast.
Wow. So speed and agility.
And once he engaged, he was a master at out-wrestling opponents.
Out-wrestling. That's a key distinction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So not just brute force, but technique, agility.
Precisely. It speaks to a different kind of strength. An overly hard mouth that can lead to a static fight, just raw power against raw power, locked in.
Grim determination.
Yeah. But Assassin 1, he wasn't just holding on. This out-wrestling, it means he was constantly maneuvering, using the opponent's balance against them, maybe twisting, pinning, using that speed to always get the better position.
Making them work harder.
Exactly. Making them expend so much more energy just reacting. It wore them down physically and mentally.
The psychological impact, too.
Oh, definitely. The sources say he could make opponents look so bad, their handlers would actually question if their own dog was sick or something was wrong with its mind after the match.
Imagine that. Shaking the handler's confidence, too.
Huge psychological blow. And just to underline how strong these traits were in the family, his brother, Assassin 2, he became an 8X winner. Legendary in his own right.
8 times. So it wasn't a fluke. It was in the blood.
It really solidified the prowess in that line.
Okay, that consistency is powerful. But to really grasp Assassin 1's legacy, we have to talk about one specific match. The big one. Against Goodtimes Spike.
Ah, yes. Spike.
Our sources call this one of the best matches of all time. So what made this fight so legendary? And who was Spike?
Spike was, well, an ace dog. That's high praise in that world. Means exceptional.
Top tier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He already had 2 big wins in the Midwest, very dominating wins himself, and his pedigree, also top-notch.
Who was he bred from?
His father was the famous Cheap Jeep ROM, and his mother was Goodtimes Sheena. So he connected to other really significant, respected bloodlines.
Okay, Cheap Jeep ROM, that ROM title register of merit, that's a big deal, right?
Huge deal. It's rare, prestigious. It means a dog didn't just win, but proved to be an exceptional producer of high-quality game offspring.
Ah, so it's about passing on the trait.
Exactly. So having Jeep as a sire immediately told you Spike came from proven elite producer stock. This wasn't just 2 great dogs fighting, it was 2 dynasties colliding.
You can almost feel the anticipation just hearing about it. 2 major lines meeting. So how did this epic contest actually play out?
Oh, it was grueling. A marathon. For the first hour, Spike just absorbed an incredible amount of punishment.
Really? So Spike was tough.
Incredibly resilient, showed amazing tenacity. A lot of dogs would have folded under that kind of pressure from Assassin 1, but Spike just endured.
Wow. What happened then? Did the tide turn?
It did. Something shifted, the momentum started to change. And then, at the 2.5-hour mark, a crucial moment.
Okay.
Assassin 1's handler requested a scratch to continue.
A scratch to continue. Okay, for listeners maybe not deep into this world, explain that.
Yeah.
This is a pivotal moment, yeah. The test of will.
Absolutely pivotal. Dramatic. The dog, even when exhausted, injured, pushed right to its limit, has to cross a line in the pit when commanded. It's not just physical, it's the ultimate proof of that inner drive, that gameness.
Pure heart. So how did Assassin 1 do? What did people see?
His scratch became legendary. The sources describe it as a falling, crawling scratch.
Falling and crawling.
Yeah, picture it. A dog, completely spent, muscles failing, but just driven by this unstoppable spirit, literally dragging himself across that line.
Oh, man.
It wasn't about speed then, not grace. Just sheer, raw refusal to quit. Many people there that day said it was one of the gamest things they'd ever witnessed.
Gamest. There's that word again.
It was this profound display of determination, pushing way beyond what seemed physically possible, left a huge mark on everyone.
I can only imagine. An incredible, almost painful image. It really embodies that spirit you mentioned. So the match is nearly 3 hours in. What happened next?
Well, at about the 3-hour mark, Assassin 1 was, nearly finished. He'd given everything, absolutely everything. It was then Spike's turn. He had to scratch to win the match.
Okay, so Spike had to show his gameness too.
And he did. He completed his scratch, showing his own incredible resilience. But then, the drama, the twist.
A foul. After all that, what happened?
Before Spike fully completed his scratch, before the ref could officially call the match over, Spike's handler, maybe in excitement, maybe misjudging the moment,
stepped out of his corner.
Oh no, a technicality. Stepped out too soon.
Exactly. A crucial mistake under pressure.
So the handler's error leads to a foul. What's the outcome then? Nearly 3 hours, this epic battle ends on a foul. Must have been tense.
Incredibly tense. The referee granted the foul, and the result, the match was declared a draw.
A draw after all that effort.
Yeah, and a draw, especially in a match that long, that tough, that high stakes, it's really significant. It basically cemented the reputations of both dogs.
Oh, so?
Well, for Assassin 1, it underscored that unbelievable gameness. Even practically defeated, he showed he'd go further than almost any dog, literally to collapse. It proved his will.
Even without the win.
Right. And for Spike, it showed his own amazing resilience and spirit. So it wasn't a loss for Assassin 1. It was this powerful validation of his extraordinary spirit, secured his place in history. And this whole story, this detailed account of Assassin 1, especially that insane draw, it's absolutely vital, isn't it? Our source literally says, to appreciate what she, Assassinator, is, I believe it's important to understand what her father was.
Exactly. It drives home that Assassinator's qualities, her essence. It's deeply rooted right there in that paternal legacy.
So why was that match and Assassin 1's gameness so pivotal for understanding Assassinator?
It's the genetic blueprint, really. That fight with Spike wasn't just a cool story. It was this public, undeniable display of Assassin 1's core traits. His speed, his wrestling skill, and above all, that almost transcendent gameness.
The raw materials?
Precisely. So when we look at Assassinator, we're going to see those same qualities popping up, sometimes even amplified. Understanding her father's willingness to push beyond limits gives us context for her own drive, her tenacity.
And what she passed on.
Exactly, and what she passed on. It sets the stage for really understanding her genetic makeup and the powerful traits she carried forward.
Makes perfect sense. It's about knowing where that excellence came from. Okay, speaking of lineage, let's shift focus now. Let's look at Assassinator's maternal side, her mother's heritage, and her early life.
Right, the other half of the equation.
What's really interesting here is that Assassinator was actually conceived before her dad, Assassin 1, had that legendary fight with Spike.
Yeah, that timing is significant.
It tells you her potential, or the potential of that pairing, was recognized even before Assassin 1's defining moment. It was based purely on the strategic breeding choices for her parents.
That's right. And her mother, she was described as a game bitch herself.
There's that term again, high praise.
Definitely. Signifies that same unwavering spirit, that determination we've been talking about. And she came from highly respected lines, too. Junshi Bose and Jacob's Shmi Hogdog.
Okay, so quality on the mother's side, too. Let's unpack those names a bit.
Yeah.
Bose and Hogdog. What do we know about them? What light do they shed on Assassinator?
Chimbos was significant. He was noted as a very good littermate to the really famous GRCH Miss Rage, so strong family ties there.
Okay.
And crucially, his line was noted for strong mouth. This is a key detail.
Why is that key?
Because it gives us a potential source for one of Assassinator's own standout traits, her considerable mouth.
Ah, okay. Now, you contrasted Assassin 1's style away from an overly hard mouth. Is strong mouth different?
Yeah, it's nuanced. Strong mouth implies powerful, effective biting, yes, but maybe with more strategic use, more versatility, not just that static brute force clampdown. It's about efficiency, causing damage maybe, rather than just relentless pressure.
Got it. So potential genetic link for a specific valuable trait there. What about the other one, Trim Hogdog?
Hogdog is described as a very well-bred bitch. She descended directly from Tramp Red Boy.
Tramp Red Boy. Another significant name in certain circles, right?
Very much so. And this lineage is important because this specific mating, Assassin 1 bred to Assassinator's Mother, was deliberate line breeding on Tramp Red Boy.
Line breeding. Okay, explain that strategy. What's the goal?
It's a sophisticated approach. You're aiming to consolidate desirable traits by intentionally breeding dogs that share common valued ancestors, in this case, Tramp Red Boy.
So reinforcing the good stuff.
Exactly. You're trying to concentrate those specific genes, hoping to strengthen and ensure the consistent expression of traits like gameness, ability, maybe a certain physical type in the puppies. It's like trying to lock in the best qualities from that line. Purposeful genetic sculpting.
Like doubling down on the traits you really value. Okay, so that careful genetic sculpting produced Assassinator, born again, June 12, 1986. And F. Jacobs, her original owner, he saw something special early on, right? Kept her as the pick of the litter.
He did. That's always a sign.
What were those first signs of promise? What made her stand out even as a pup?
Well, from a young age, she looked impressive in her schooling.
Schooling? What does that mean for a puppy like this?
It refers to early training assessments, where you start to see their natural abilities, how they respond to handling, their raw potential for competition.
Okay, gauging aptitude.
Right. And furthermore, the sources say she was matched 3 times off the chain.
Off the chain? Yeah. Meaning informal, not official matches.
Exactly. Think of them as informal tests or roles, less structured. Not about titles, but vital for gauging her inherent ability, her drive, temperament, resilience, all without the full pressure of a formal contest.
So like sparring sessions.
Kind of, yeah. And in these early tests, she showed immense promise. Proved she definitely inherited the family's working aptitude.
So clear signs she had the family traits even young. What specific traits did she inherit? And were there any new ones? Anything that really set her apart from her dad?
She definitely got a lot of her father's legendary speed and ability. Those were clearly dominant assassin line traits.
Makes sense.
But what made her particularly notable, maybe a bit unique in the mix, was her considerable mouth. That strong mouth we talked about, potentially coming from Chasso Bose.
Ah, right. So that trait seemed to come through.
Yeah, it was a significant addition, complementing her speed and agility, made her a different kind of threat, perhaps.
And where did that considerable mouth come from? Was it expected, given the line breeding, or still a bit of a surprise? Genetics are tricky.
They are. The sources speculate a bit. They suggest it may have been the result of a hybrid effect from maybe an outcross somewhere further back in the lineage.
Okay.
Or, more directly, it could have come straight from her maternal grandfather, Tramma Bose, whose line, as we said, was known for it.
Right.
It just highlights that fascinating interplay in genetics, doesn't it? Sometimes a trait is clearly inherited, direct line. Other times, something emerges stronger or differently because you've combined diverse genetic inputs. That's hybrid vigor.
Yeah, that unexpected boost from mixing lines.
Exactly. It's a testament to how complex inherited traits can be. You see it everywhere. Agriculture, sports breeding, even humans. Diverse backgrounds can lead to unique strengths.
Okay, so Assassinators showing promise, inheriting speed, ability, plus this strong mouth.
Yeah.
Now here's where a new player enters her story. W.C.C.
Right, the authors of our main source. They become crucial.
It was around this time, shortly after her early promise started showing, that W.C.C. first got involved with the assassin dogs. How did that connection happen? What was their first impression?
The key figure here was Goodtimes.
The owner of Spike.
Well, connected to Spike, yes. And someone known for having a really good eye for quality dogs. He'd worked closely with W.C.C. before.
Okay.
And Goodtimes apparently always wanted to try some new blood. He had this progressive approach to breeding, always looking for the next great thing.
So he spotted the assassin line.
He did, and he was instrumental in convincing W.C.C. to take a trip with him out to F. Jacobs's place in South Carolina. The specific goal, to pick up some dogs from this assassin line.
And did they?
They did. They came back from that first trip with several dogs, got their first real taste of the line's potential.
Must have been impressive if they went back for more. How did they eventually acquire Assassinator herself? Because you said Jacobs wouldn't sell her at first.
That's right. On that first visit, W.C.C. definitely saw her. Her quality was obvious even then, but Jacobs would not discuss selling her, period. She was prized, not for sale.
So what changed?
Circumstances. Jacobs was apparently looking to get out of dogs around this time, transitioning. It created this unique, maybe slightly sad opportunity.
Right place, right time.
Seems like it. This time, when W.C.C. went back, Jacobs was willing to sell. And here's the kicker. She was sold bred to Assassin 2.
Bred to her uncle, the 8X winner.
Exactly. An incredibly significant deal. W.C.C. wasn't just getting Assassinator, this female with huge promise. They were getting a future litter already sired by her legendary uncle.
Wow. That's foresight. Securing the female and her immediate offspring from a champion line all at once.
The strategic masterstroke, really.
Yeah.
Instantly locked in top-tier genetics, present and future.
It really suggests a deep level of trust, too, doesn't it? For Jacobs to part with her, especially bred like that.
Absolutely. The source states it pretty plainly. No doubt that part of the reason he was willing to sell her was because he knew we would take good care of her.
That adds a really important personal dimension.
It does. For breeders at this level, it often wasn't just business. The welfare, the future of these special animals, it was paramount. Jacobs was entrusting her future, her valuable genetics, to W.C.C. shows mutual respect, a shared dedication.
Okay, so Assassinator is acquired, pregnant, with a potentially amazing litter. Now, at the same time, W.C.C. made another key purchase, one that would be crucial for their long-term strategy. Devil Deacon.
Yes, Devil Deacon. Equally important in a different way.
Where did they find him? And why was he so important that they got him simultaneously?
They bought him from the Carolina Kitten's place on that same trip. And Deacon, well, he was destined to become an ROM producer himself. Register of Merit.
Another ROM. So a proven producer in the making.
Exactly. Like Jupe, he'd go on to sire an exceptional number of high-quality game offspring. Only the elite achieve that. And buying him wasn't random. It was absolutely part of a deliberate, long-term breeding plan.
A specific vision?
A very specific vision. Showed a really advanced understanding of genetics and the kind of dog they wanted to create.
So what was the rationale? Why Deacon, specifically? If they were so high on the assassin blood, why bring in this other line, the Red Boy line, through Deacon? It seems almost counterintuitive.
That's where the real strategic thinking shines through. They loved the assassin blood, the speed, the ability, the gameness, absolutely.
Right.
But they recognized they needed something specific to complement it. They needed some tight Red Boy blood to breed back to it to get the type of dog we wanted.
Okay, so it wasn't just about doubling down, it was about balancing, refining.
Exactly. A nuanced vision. They understood how different complementary bloodlines could be combined to achieve a specific outcome, a particular type of dog with a precise blend of characteristics. Maybe balancing assassin speed with Red Boy's renowned gameness or mouth, perhaps.
So they weren't just breeding for more assassin trait, they were breeding for better overall dogs through strategic combination.
Precisely. The art and science of selective breeding right there. Aiming for a sum greater than its parts.
That's really insightful, not just building strength, but maybe addressing potential gaps, refining the final product.
Okay, so with this long-term plan in mind, what was Assassinator's first breeding under W.C.C.'s ownership, after the Assassin 2 litter she arrived with?
The first time she came into heat while in their care, she was bred to Goodtimes Josh.
Josh. Okay, who was he?
Josh was a solid dog, a 2X winner himself, proved his own quality, and interestingly, he was the brother to Sheena.
Spike's mother. It all connects back.
It really does, bringing that renowned lineage from the Assassin 1 versus Spike match back into the mix, but from a slightly different angle. And what was Josh's broader lineage? The sources called this breeding pretty much a complete outcross.
Right. His lineage was described as basically bred down from some old Corvino blood mixed with Crash Rascal and Buster blood. So different lines entirely.
And yeah, a complete outcross. That's a specific strategy, isn't it? Different from the line breeding that produced Assassinator.
Very different. Line breeding, as we said, concentrates genes from related individuals. Outcrossing is the opposite. You breed two dogs who are not closely related.
Why do that? What's the goal of an outcross?
Several potential reasons. You might want to bring in totally new desirable traits that your line lacks. Improve overall genetic diversity, which can be really important for health and vigor. Maybe correct weaknesses that sometimes pop up from too much inbreeding.
Like hitting a refresh button genetically.
Kind of. Or you might be aiming for that hybrid vigor effect we touched on earlier, where the offspring are somehow healthier, stronger, or just generally better than either parent because of the increased genetic variation.
So, a bold move then. Breeding Assassinator with her concentrated Assassin Red Boy background to a complete outcross like Josh? Seems risky given how good the Assassin line was.
It was definitely a choice. Could dilute the traits they valued, or it could enhance them in unexpected ways. But it showed their confidence in Assassinator's strength as a producer.
And what was the result? Did this outcross work? Did they get good dogs?
They did. Despite being a complete outcross, which can be, unpredictable sometimes, the sources say these turned out to be some very good dogs.
Wow.
It really demonstrated the quality of both parents, Assassinator and Josh. Proved that a well-planned outcross, using carefully chosen lines, can definitely yield excellent results. Added new strength, maybe, without losing the core qualities?
Prevented getting too genetically narrow, perhaps.
Exactly. Infused some vitality.
What a great start for her breeding career with W.C.C. But the really legendary chapter, the one that maybe defines her most, came next. Her second breeding under their care to Deacon.
Ah, yes. Deacon. The red boy dog they specifically acquired for this purpose.
Right. And the sources have this great little anecdote about Deacon that really sells his quality as a stud dog.
They do. It validates why they bought him. Deacon had an off-the-chain role again, an informal test that was so incredibly impressive. W.C.C. turned down a $5,000 offer for him right afterward.
$5,000 back then.
Yeah.
Based on an informal role.
Astronomical sum for the time, under those circumstances. It wasn't just potential. This was proven, undeniable quality in a live, unscripted moment. Commanded instant recognition of his elite status.
Showed he was the real deal, worthy of breeding to Assassinator.
Absolutely. It justified their earlier strategic purchase and set the stage for what they hoped would be a landmark litter.
So Deacon's proven ability, Assassinator's lineage, and proven production from the Josh litter. This pairing must have had huge expectations. The strategic blend of assassin speedability and red boy gritmouth gameness. How did it turn out? How big was this pivotal litter?
Nator, as they called her.
Nator. Nice nickname.
Yeah, she gave birth to a remarkable litter of 11 pups. 11.
11. That's huge.
Massive. And she raised them all, which says a lot about her own health, her vigor, her strong maternal instincts at the time. A large, healthy litter like that is always a great sign. Indicates strength in both parents and the dam.
11 pups. Just imagine the potential concentrated right there.
Yeah.
But despite the quality parents, the size of the litter, the sources mention a surprise challenge at first. They had trouble selling them.
Isn't that interesting?
Why? Why was that? You'd think pups from this cross would fly off the shelves.
It gives us a fascinating peek into the reputation building process for dog lines back then. At the specific time this litter arrived, potential buyers didn't really know about the assassin dogs.
Still, even after Assassin 1 and 2's wins.
Apparently not widely enough. W.C.C. and maybe Goodtimes, the inner circle, they knew the quality. But the broader community, the average buyer maybe, they hadn't quite caught on yet to this specific line's full potential or reputation.
So it was still kind of an underground gem.
Seems like it. Maybe regional, maybe just hadn't hit that mainstream awareness yet among enthusiasts. Created a problem initially, couldn't move the pups easily. Financial issue, maybe.
But you said it had an unexpected benefit, a silver lining.
It did. a profoundly beneficial one in hindsight.
What was it? How did a problem become an advantage?
Well, because they couldn't sell them quickly, W.C.C. ended up keeping a large portion of the litter themselves.
Okay.
And this, paradoxically, led to better management of the dogs overall.
How so?
Because they had so many of these high-quality pups in their own hands, they were fairly careful to put them in the hands of good dogmen.
Ah, so they controlled the placement more carefully.
Exactly. It emphasizes just how critical good ownership and handling are. It's not just about the genes. You need to ensure these dogs go to people who understand them, know how to condition them, train them, nurture their potential.
Nature and nurture.
Absolutely. It was a blessing in disguise. Ensured these valuable genetics got the best chance to be cultivated properly.
That's a fantastic point. Even the best raw materials need the right craftsman. Okay, let's get to the proof in the pudding. The true testament to this breeding. The champions, the Gamedogs that came out of this legendary Deacon litter. This is where Assassinator really shines as a producer.
This is the core evidence. Her ROM status rests heavily on this litter.
So who are the standouts? What made them remarkable?
The list is just incredibly impressive. Really validates W.C.C's strategy. First, you have C, Betty.
Yippee and Betty. Okay.
She was a 3x winner in matches, and significantly also a 2x Best in Show winner.
Best in Show, so confirmation too. Looks as well as ability.
Exactly. One of those BIS wins was at a one-match show, meaning she was judged outstanding in a smaller, focused event. Proved her excellent physical structure, her breed type. Her dual titles, CS and BIS, show she was the total package. Performance and type.
Truly well-rounded dog. Impressive.
Yeah.
Who else had champion status?
Then there was Treat Becky, also a 3x winner.
Another one.
Yeah. And her wins were noted as being against top competition, which means she consistently proved her quality against the best opponents out there. Showed she could hang tough at the highest level repeatedly.
Consistency is key. Okay, who else?
Then we have Clean Doris. And the description for her is simple but powerful. Dead game in her third.
Dead game. We heard that about Assassin 1, didn't we? Well,
Yeah.
Almost. He had the gamest scratch. What does dead game really mean for Doris? Why is that such a profound description?
It is, without doubt, the ultimate compliment in this world. Dead game signifies that unwavering spirit, that absolute refusal to quit, no matter the pain, the exhaustion, the odds.
Pure will.
Pure, unadulterated will to continue pushing through until the very end, even if the end is defeat. For Doris to be called dead game in her third means she showed this paramount quality under the most extreme pressure. Proved her character, her deep, unyielding fortitude.
Incredible. And maybe the most almost unbelievable example of this gameness comes from Trait. Benade's right. His story is just something else.
It really is. Sheep Benade, another 3x winner from this litter, his story is legendary. A truly powerful anecdote about gameness against staggering physical odds, maybe one of the most remarkable examples ever.
What happened with him?
The sources state very clearly all his teeth were gone by the time he was shown for his first match.
Wait, all his teeth gone before his first match?
All of them gone. Imagine that. A dog whose main weapon is its mouth entering top-level competition with that kind of profound disadvantage from the start.
Was that even possible?
It defies logic almost. Yet, despite this seemingly impossible hurdle, he not only won 3 matches to become a champion,
Unbelievable.
but he was also described as dead game in his last match, still showing that ultimate spirit, even toothless.
That's mind-blowing. It's not just winning. It's the sheer force of will overcoming a massive physical limitation. It really underscores that inner drive these dogs could have.
Absolutely. It's stories like Benade's or Assassin 1's crawl. They kind of transcend the sport itself, don't they? You see this determination that's just humbling. This pure drive reminds you of the profound inner strength possible. Not just in dogs, maybe, but in any living thing pushed to its absolute limit.
Makes the history so much more than just pedigrees and wins. It's about spirit.
Indomitable spirit.
Exactly.
So beyond these amazing champions, Betty, Becky, Doris, Benade, were there other notable dogs from this litter that added to Assassinator's legacy?
Yes. Absolutely. The quality ran deep. There was Bart's BB. She won her first 2 matches, then lost her third, but lost it to DSK's Choo, another top dog. So it shows she was competing at a high level and holding her own.
Faced tough competition. Okay.
Then there was Crybaby, described as a very game 1x winner. Again, highlighting that consistent gameness trait showing up throughout the litter.
And what about the ones maybe not campaigned as heavily or kept back for breeding? That tells a story too, right? It really does. It shows the breeder's strategy. There was Carrie. She was described as very impressive in her schooling, just like Assassinator was early on. Showed huge potential.
But she wasn't matched.
No, she was held back for brood. They decided her value as a future producer, passing on those genetics, was too high to risk her in competition.
Smart long-term thinking.
Very. And similarly, another bitch from the litter lost all her teeth young, like Benade. And she was also kept specifically for breeding.
Wow, so that tooth issue popped up more than once, but they still saw genetic value.
Exactly. It highlights that pragmatic strategy. If the dog had the right genetics, the right temperament, even with physical issues, or if its potential as a producer was just off the charts, they could still contribute massively to the line through breeding.
That shows real discernment, planning for the future of the line. So not every pup became a champion, but their contributions were varied. Now, for a balanced view, genetics aren't foolproof. Not every pup, even from an amazing litter, hits the mark, right? Were there any that didn't meet those incredibly high standards?
That's crucial for an honest picture. And yeah, the sources are upfront about it. It wasn't 11 for 11 perfect dogs.
Okay.
One male reportedly got off his chain at his owners, which, can happen with powerful, driven dogs. Management is key.
Right. A handling issue, maybe?
Could be. And importantly, the sources state 2 other males in this litter quit.
Quit. Meaning they didn't show gameness under pressure.
Exactly. They didn't have that same unyielding spirit when tested. It gives a complete perspective, shows that even from a phenomenal breeding, you get natural variation. Not every single individual inherits or develops that coveted gameness to the same degree.
Genetics provides the potential, but other factors play a role.
Individual development, maybe even just chance. It keeps things grounded.
Vital context. Okay, so acknowledging those variables.
Yeah.
When you step back and look at the whole litter, the Assassin-Deacon cross, what was the final verdict? What did all these individual stories add up to?
The bottom line, the statistic really says it all. It's the ultimate validation of the cross and of Assassinator as an elite producer. In all that litter, 8 of 11 showed game.
8 out of 11 showed gameness.
8 out of 11. To have that high percentage display that paramount trait, that refusal to quit, that's an incredibly high success rate by any standard.
That's astounding.
It didn't just solidify the reputation of this specific breeding. It truly established the Assassinator line through Deacon as a major force in the breed's history, a testament to that powerful synergistic combination of genetics they aimed for.
Meticulously chosen, skillfully managed, and yielding incredible results. What a legacy from that one litter.
Truly cemented her place among the greats. But unfortunately, her story takes a difficult turn after this high point. Her final years were challenging.
Yeah, the sources mention health problems. What happened to Nator after producing this game-changing litter?
Shortly after the Deacon litter, she developed a serious health issue, a spinal problem. Yeah, it unfortunately progressed, turned into a ruptured disc, which led to partial paralysis in her rear legs.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for such a vital, potent dog.
It's a tough reminder of the fragility, even in the strongest animals. A sad decline.
What was the final outcome? Could anything be done?
Sadly, no. Due to the severity, the irreversible paralysis, she eventually had to be humanely euthanized in 1994.
1994, so she wasn't that old, really.
No, not ancient. A sad end to a truly remarkable life. And there's a final, poignant detail. They did try to breed her one last time before things got too bad.
Oh, really? Did it take?
It resulted in a litter of 3 pups. But the sources say that all died.
Oh, man. That's just adds a really bittersweet note to her story, doesn't it? The challenges and heartbreak that can come even with the most successful programs.
It really does. But despite those physical struggles, the tragic end to her breeding career, the sources make it clear she was still deeply cherished, more than just a producer.
Absolutely. They emphasize that even through the health issues, the declining mobility, she remained a very affectionate bitch that we were all very fond of.
That connection matters.
It really does. It's important to remember these were individuals, loved, valued, mourned, companions, not just genetic packages or competitors.
Well said. And this brings us back full circle to the idea of a champion's legacy and that ROM title we keep mentioning. CH Jeep ROM, Devil Deacon ROM producer. Assassinator herself is listed as W.C.C. as Assassinator ROM.
Right.
You explained what ROM means, Register of Merit. But for her specifically, what does that status truly signify? Because she wasn't campaigned like her dad or her pups were. Her legacy feels different.
It is different, and that's the critical distinction. That's the core of her legacy. For Assassinator, her ROM status isn't based on her own wins in the pit. She was primarily valued and developed as a breeding animal. Her Register of Merit status comes solely from her extraordinary ability as a producer to consistently throw multiple champions and, crucially, that significantly high number of game dogs, like those 8 out of 11 from the Deacon litter.
So it's about the quality of her offspring.
Exactly. Despite her own physical issues later on, her genetic contribution proven through the success and, importantly, the gameness of her progeny, that's what defined her ROM status. She passed on those desirable traits, especially gameness and ability, to an exceptional, measurable degree. She shaped the future of the breed through her kids and grandkids.
That connects all the dots perfectly, doesn't it? Her whole life story, from the traits she inherited to the careful, strategic breeding choices made for her, it just demonstrates the art and science of selective breeding so clearly.
Recognizing potential, understanding genetics, making informed, long-term decisions, cultivating specific qualities over generations.
Yeah. And her story really drives home that powerful idea. A dog's most profound legacy, the most enduring one, isn't always about their own titles.
Right. It's often more about the quality, the gameness, the consistency they pass on, shaping entire bloodlines, leaving that indelible mark for generations.
That's what made Assassinator a true champion producer.
Yeah.
A foundation female whose influence just continues to ripple outwards.
What an incredible journey we've taken today. Really diving deep into the assassin line, tracing the pivotal role of Assassinator. We saw her paternal heritage, her maternal lineage, the strategic choices by W.C.C., all culminating in this remarkable line of game, capable dogs.
It really highlights the dedication, the vision required to shape a legacy like that. It doesn't happen by accident.
No kidding, it's this complex tapestry, isn't it? Genetics, instinct, human foresight, careful management, all coming together.
Yeah, the story of Assassinator, it's not just history. It's like a living example of how deliberate, informed choices can compound over time to create something truly exceptional. A real testament to pursuing specific inherited excellence.
So, as you, our listener, reflect on Assassinator's legacy, maybe consider this final thought. What does her story tell us about that delicate dance between inherited traits and strategic breeding? Between nature and nurture, almost? And how does that intense dedication, that focus on preserving and cultivating something as specific, as almost intangible as gameness, how does that resonate beyond just canine history?
Interesting question.
Maybe it prompts us to think about the long-term vision needed anywhere we try to cultivate specific attributes, whether it's animals or developing talent or character or even innovation in other fields.
Yeah, the principles might apply more broadly.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it, about the true nature of excellence, the layers of influence, the power of strategic choice, and the enduring impact of a truly remarkable legacy like Assassinators.
A question definitely worth pondering long after this deep dive ends.